Lomachenko's ducking him, when Lomachenko in actuality is the guy who wanted to fight him last year. So, another thing is this. People aren't taking this into account. Rigo campaigns at 122 pounds. Alright? I just mentioned to you guys how he fought in Japan in 2014 and he has to go overseas to get fights. Why, instead of complaining and whining and having visa problems and talking about how, you know, just blaming everybody else for his problems, for his freaking terrible, like, his performance in the ring, instead of doing that, why wasn't Rigo more proactive? Why didn't he say, okay, I can't get a fight with the top guys in my weight class, I can't get a fight with the top guys at 126, but you know what? There's a killer over there at 118, and you know, I fought in Japan, and I can go to Japan, I can fight. I can fight Shinsuke Yamanaka, and I can beat an undefeated pound for pound fighter. And he would have got so much credit for it. Like, Yamanaka is one of the best fighters in the world. I believe I think he might have the most title defenses in boxing right now currently. Either him or Golovkin. I know he has like 10. I can't remember right now how much Golovkin has. But if Rigo was to go in there and beat Yamanaka, you know what that would say what that would say about him as a fighter? It would easily be the best win of his career. Better than Donaire. But way better than Donaire. Because Donaire is like a fringe level fighter, Hall of Fame fighter. Yamanaka, you know, I could confidently say he should go to the Hall of Fame with the resume he has, title defenses, being a dominant champion in his weight class. So Rigo didn't try to do that when it made all the business sense in the world. He's fought in Japan before. Yamanaka has a big fan base, but the problem is in his deluded mind, he thinks he's an A-side fighter, and people tell him he's an A-side fighter when he's not an A-side fighter. He has the skill set to be an A-side fighter, but from a business standpoint, he is far from an A-side fighter. Because to be an A-side fighter, you gotta have a fan base, and outside of hardcore boxing fans, which in actuality isn't a big number, there aren't a lot of Guillermo Rigondeaux fans. I live in South Florida, okay? I live in South Florida. Most people in freaking South Florida don't know who Guillermo Rigondeaux is. So what does that say about who he is as a draw, as a name? So I'm food for thought. Rigo could have fought Lomachenko last year. He turned it down. While he was sitting around complaining and waiting for fights, he could have went another route and fought Yamanaka for the WBC title at 118 pounds and beat a pound-for-pound undefeated fighter, one of the most dominant champions in boxing, but he didn't try to do that. And hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, word to my brethren in Cuba. Shout out to Cuba. Speaking of Cuba, let's talk about Cuba's very own Guillermo Rigondeaux, because I found it very interesting. You know, the World Boxing Super Series tournament that's been really, I think, good for boxing. I think it's been fun to watch for the most part. It's been well organized. You know, they wrote their wrongs in the super middleweight tournament by finally putting George Groves in the final, not pulling that messed up stuff with Eubank. But I wanted to talk about Guillermo Rigondeaux because he got invited to compete in the bantamweight World Boxing Super Series that they're going to do later on this year. They're going to start later on this year. And that looks to be the great tournament, as they have already confirmed that all 4 champions from bantamweight will be in the tournament. So you're going to have Zolani Tate, Ryan Burnett, Emmanuel Rodriguez, and of course Nayoa the Monster Inoue, a guy that many people rate very highly right now, and some people rate as one of the top 5 best fighters in boxing. So that looks to be a really good tournament, and they offered Rigondeaux a chance to be in the tournament, but Rigondeaux has turned down the tournament because he says that the weight is too much of an issue. Now, I don't want to criticize him in terms of saying he's ducking these guys and he's afraid of them, because I genuinely don't think he is afraid of those guys. But what I will say is this, all right? As you guys saw in the beginning of this video, okay, I was saying in 2016, okay, back 2016, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video, in 2016, I was saying Rigondeaux should drop down to 118, and he should have fought Yamanaka, a great champion who was coming to the end of his rope, had a great title run in Japan, was the second longest reigning champion in boxing behind Triple G. He should have fought him. If he would have beat him, he would have been the guy at 118, and he could have held the title. He could have really built his career at 118. But he decided not to do that. He fought cannon fodder opponents. And then he took a fight against Lomachenko for short money, and Lomachenko embarrassed him and made him quit on the stool, and now his stock is dramatically low. And now he jumped up so high in weight that he says that he can't cut the 4 pounds to get to 118. So if that is genuinely the case, I'll take his word at face value. You should listen to True School Sports. I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so, man, because I don't know if he's telling the truth. You don't really know, but it would have been a great opportunity for Rigondeaux if he could somehow get down to 118 and feel comfortable at the weight. Because, I mean, you're talking about a tournament where you have a chance to become an undisputed champion, where you have a chance to really solidify yourself as the best in the weight class with no questions asked. Guys can't duck you. You beat who's put in front of you, and you move on to the next round. And he will get the chance to do that against very young, strong, prime fighters. Could you imagine? Could you guys imagine if Rigondeaux ended this tournament and he fought a guy like Naoya Inoue, the monster, one of the greatest, one of the most talented fighters in boxing right now. The jury's still on how good he is, because we want to see that we want to see Inoue in there with young prime fighters. But he's passed the eye test and then some. To be a guy like Inoue, and you won a world title in 3 weight classes in 13 or 14 fights. He's doing stuff as fast as Lomachenko is. He's not getting the amount of publicity Lomachenko's getting because he's in a lower weight class. That's how it works. But he's a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter, and he's really gonna get tested at the weight. But it'd be good to see Rigondeaux in the tournament, because for so long Rigondeaux was ducked. Rigondeaux was avoided by a lot of guys, and it would have really been an opportunity for him to right the wrongs that were done to him in the Lomachenko fight. So I don't know. If I were Rigondeaux, the way I would go about it is this. I would try my best to get down to 118. You try your best to get down to 118. You don't make any commitments. You just tell them, hey, I can't commit to anything, but I will try my best to get down to 118. And should I feel comfortable, I'll definitely enter the tournament. And they can put him in there as an alternate, because he needs, like for his career in the pros, he really has had only 2, 3. I'll say 3. I'll give him credit for one fight, but really only 2 significant fights in his pro career. He had the Donaire fight, in which announced him to the world as one of the best pound talents in the sport, and then he had a Lomachenko fight, which ultimately was the biggest embarrassment for his career. He got humiliated that night. So people aren't really looking at Rigondeaux in a very high view at the moment. But if you put him in a tournament against other top, young, undefeated, prime champions, and he goes in there, and let's say he doesn't even win the tournament. Let's say he goes in there and he beats one of them. Let's say he won in that tournament and he beat a guy like Ryan Burnett, or who knows? Maybe he pulls off the upset and exposes Inoue. Then it's gonna look amazing for him. It would be one of those legacy-defining wins for him that he kind of needs, because he hasn't had a high-quality win against a high-quality opponent since he fought Donaire, which was 2013, 2014. So he needs that. And now it's like, okay, if he doesn't enter the tournament, if he doesn't enter the World Boxing Super Series, then like what is there really for him to do in boxing? Because let's be real, from a promoter standpoint, so we have to look at this from a promoter standpoint, because he has turned off a lot of promoters, with how difficult he's been in negotiations, with just how he hasn't been the most entertaining fighter in the ring when they put really guys he can look good in front of him. Like when they put guys in front of him who he look really good against, he hasn't turned in like the performances that he needed to turn in to continue moving up in his career. So he's not a draw. Promoters don't necessarily like him, and guys aren't just going to jump up to fight him, because even though he lost Lomachenko at his proper weight class, people still know he's a dangerous fighter. So there's no money in fighting him. There's really no money in promoting him, and it really seems like he doesn't have opponents there for him. So it really, honestly, the way I look at it is this. He has to try to get down to 118, and he has to try to enter this tournament. And if he can do that, he has to trust his skills. He has to trust his skills. He has to believe that he's still a great fighter. Because I know when you lose to him like the way he lost Lomachenko, that could really hurt you. But he has to believe he's still a great fighter, and he has to really try to win the tournament, because even though those guys are champions in the young, a lot of those guys are still very unproven. I like Emmanuel Rodriguez, unproven. He's very unproven. Ryan Burnett, good fighter, but a lot of people say he's still unproven. Inoue, good talent. A lot of people still say he's unproven. These guys are champions, but they haven't proved themselves long enough for you to say, okay, that's the guy at the weight class. That has happened. But Rigondeaux, what he has over those guys is experience. He's fought in the amateurs, won 2 gold medals, been a world champion, beaten Donaire. He's been in there with Lomachenko, so he knows what it takes. He knows what it takes at that top level, and he has that over them. So you should try to enter the tournament. But I go back to what I'm saying. He should have listened to True School Sports. He should listen to me in 2016. If he would have fought Yamanaka in 2016, he would have never had to fight Lomachenko. He would have been the lineal 100 bantamweight champion of the world. He could have really built himself quite the career there, and this would have just came along organically, and he could have just entered the tournament, and he would have been chilling. He'd have been chilling. But you can't go back and change time. He made his decisions. He took the risk. He went up 2 weight classes to fight Lomachenko. We give him credit for that, even though it took a long time to do. But I'm just saying, man, it would have worked out a lot better for him if he would have just tried to make the Yamanaka fight happen. Because I'll be honest with you, I like Yamanaka, but Yamanaka was very beatable in the latter part of his title reign. His last 2 or 3 fights in his title reign, he was very beatable. And y'all saw that when he fought Moreno and he fought Luis Netti and he lost the title. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Rigondeaux could have landed one of those really sharp left hands and put him out. Like, he has that kind of power. So, I don't know. I'm just saying. Should have listened to me in 2016. But let me know what you guys think. Rigondeaux states that he can't enter the bantamweight World Boxing Super Series because of the fact that he can't make the weight anymore because he jumped up too high to fight Lomachenko. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Do you guys believe him? And do you guys still believe he should try to make the 118 limit? Let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. But like I say in every video, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.